freedom! 結束一黨專政！結束一黨專政！ Hello everyone, my name is Nathan. This is a very important occasion. We used to have candlelight vigil in Hong Kong, and for now we are no longer able to hold these events because the government has criminalized free speech, has banned our freedom of gathering, and has told us that mere remembrance of the atrocities that have been committed is not allowed anymore. 33 years ago in 1989, Chinese students, workers, intellectuals, they gathered around the country. One of the most iconic places was in the Tiananmen Square. They demanded democracy, accountability, anti-corruption campaign. But at the end, on this exact date, thousands were murdered. For now, in 2022, there is a war ongoing on Ukrainian soil that Putin led an invasion into the land and also murdered thousands of people. The war has begun for more than 100 days, and all these atrocities still climbing up. We've witnessed all these human rights violations, all these atrocities, all these murdered, and that's the reason why we're here. These two cases are different, but they all share the same origin, which is dictators, they want more power. They want more of people's blood in order to feed them. They murdered people, they invade. And all these atrocities somehow, for whatever reasons, some of them, they're not being held accountable. And that's the reason why we have to be here and to say that enough is enough. We need and we want and we deserve democracy. And we need to resist in order to preserve our dignity and the dignity of our people. For now, we all face grim reality. Democracy seems so far away, and many have suffered so much in the path of walking towards democracy. The same applies to Ukraine, same applies to Hong Kong, to Tibet, to East Turkestan, and to the Chinese people. But we all know that we are unable and we don't give up for now, because democracy is what we want. For Russia and China, we all know that they are the two of the largest dictatorships in the world. They work together. Their influence spread beyond borders. You could see signs of Chinese intervention and support in the military junta in Myanmar. You could see them silently supporting Taliban. You can see them always promoting the propaganda of Russia. And Xi Jinping, the dictators of China, has said that China and Russia, their collaboration has no limit. So if any one of you is still having that wishful thinking that, oh, China, maybe they could help solve the war, I'm so sorry, they are not the solution. They are the problem. I was invited last year to Biden's Summer for Democracy, and I made a speech. I not only talk about the protests of Hong Kong, and I also mentioned about the importance of us seeing the rise of authoritarianism worldwide as the major problem, as the crisis of our era, and the need for us, for freedom fighters to work together on a global scale. And I think this is exactly what we are doing. We need to stand in solidarity. We have to understand that the problem of Hong Kong, the problem of Ukraine, the problem of all these human rights violations, they're not separated. They're not single issue, but we have to address them together in order to solve these problems. The fight in Hong Kong is not only for Hong Kong people. The fight in Ukraine is not only for the Ukrainians. It's for our humankind. It's for our shared values. It's for democracy and freedom that we all deserve. Let's support Ukraine, support Hong Kong. Let the Ukrainians have the equipment they need to battle. Let's help them to become the independent and dignified country that they can determine their future. And let's help Hong Kong people to fight for our freedom, our deserved democracy. And let's help people around the world to fight for their human rights and fight for their dignity. As Mirna Kundera aptly put it, the battle of men to power is the battle of memory against forgetting. We need all these atrocities, all this commitment, all the heroism to be remembered. We need truth to be unfolded. We need all to stand together. And that's why we have continued to commemorate the 4th of June massacre. Just because of the same reason. The Chinese Communist Party is still the one 33 years ago who ordered tanks, gunfires to roll over its people and to brutally murder its people in order to retain in power. They are still doing it, and they will do it unless we hold them accountable, unless the world step up, unless our democracy and freedom are preserved anywhere else and everywhere. So this is a grim date for Hong Kong people. We've been commemorating the 4th of June. We've been seeking for accountability. We've been chanting for the end of dictatorship, the end of one-party ruling in Hong Kong. And that was the only place that we could do it. And it was not available anymore. So this is a very special occasion for all of our Hong Kong people. But we wanted to add one more meaning to it, which is we stand together to the oppressed one who is living under dictatorship, who is being threatened by dictatorships, who is being brutally murdered. And because we stand together, we are stronger. After the defeat of Russia, we will definitely be stronger together. Our democracy will be stronger, and our humankind will be stronger. Fight for freedom! Fight for freedom! Stand with Hong Kong! Stand with Hong Kong! As my Ukrainian friend taught me, and I know there are so many Hong Kong people have been keeping the awareness of the ongoing war. She taught me one phrase, my Pitra miano Ukrainio, which means that, sorry I'm pronouncing it terribly, but which means that we support Ukrainians, we support you, and we hope that we can stand together in this fight against dictators. Thank you so much.
Slava Ukraini!